Well, time now to return to Muttarama on Park Avenue and Wally Ballaou.
Muttarama, again, speaking with Hiram Hensinger, who is the founder of this dog institution. We had a delicious meal a while ago, Hiram. I do want to thank you for that.
Glad you enjoyed it.
And now we're about to listen to one of America's leading canine educationalists, Professor Yvette Shatner, teaching a class of dog owners and their dogs obedience commands.
Will the white French poodle with the show cut please sit down?
You talking to me, Teach?
Well, are you the white French poodle or aren't you?
No, I'm Mr. Wilberforce. My dog's name is H.
Sit down anyway.
Okay.
All right. Will the German Shepherd come out, please, in the center of the room now?
Yeah, boy.
All right. Fine. Now, you all notice how he came right out with the dog. Will the black Scotty dog come out?
Good, man. All right, I will.
Now, the Mexican Chihuahua
See?
and the Great Dane sit down.
Yeah, boy. No.
All right. Now, the English Bulldog come out, please. Now, just a moment. Let the German Shepherd return, the Mexican Chihuahua go back, and would the Afghan Hound come out? All right. And give the command to sit and to stay.
When are we going to get our report cards, Teacher?
Well, when dogs perform badly, that means dogs flunk, you know.
I guess I got a few more weeks to go, huh?
All right, I think that's about... All right, now, heel. That's it. Good boy. Sit, stay. Sit. Will the boxer please come out?
Could you tell us what you're doing right now, Miss Shatner? Our time is running a little bit short, I'm afraid. What command should I give for my St. Bernard when he goes for somebody, Teacher?
Tell him to drop dead. I'm quitting this. I've never worked with a group of stupid people like this.
Well,
this is the dumbest class of dogs I've ever had.
Miss Shatner seems to have an unruly class here. So, as a load of bedlam begins to creep
Look out,
down,
Mr. Ballou!
This is Wally Ballou. Return down, boy. Returning it
Somebody
to Bob.
take that dog off his ankle.
Now another episode of One Fella's Family, brought to you as a public service by the Be Kind to One Another Committee. Today's episode, entitled A Message Arrives, is taken from Book IV, Chapter VI, pages IV through VI. As we look in on the family, we see Father inside the foyer.
I'm standing just inside the foyer.
I know. What are you doing out there?
Well, I was looking for my rosebush trimmers.
Well, they wouldn't be in the foyer. Probably you left them out in the garage.
Well, I can't remember where I put them last fall when I finished trimming the roses. They should be around here somewhere. Not too early to trim the rose bushes.
Why don't you leave the rose bushes alone? Can't you think of anything else to do?
It's the only way we'll get full bloomers, Fanny, is to trim them early and often.
I know, but you trimmed them practically down to the nub last fall.
Wait. Someone's coming up the front walk. Looks like a messenger boy of some sort. He'll be ringing the bell any moment now.
Well, why don't you open it?
Yes?
You the old man here?
I'm Father Butcher.
I've got a message for you.
All right. Do I have to sign for it?
Would you please, here, right where I've made the penciled X.
Therbutcher.
Have you, forgotten anything?
You mean the tip?
That's what I mean, yeah, tip.
No, I didn't forget it. It's a message, Fanny.
I wonder who it could be from.
Looks like it's in Jack's handwriting.
Well, open it up.
Yeah.
I get so nervous when those special delivery letters arrive.
That's what it is. It's a message from Jack.
What does he say?
I haven't read it yet, Fanny. That's peculiar. Both sides of the paper are
You
blank.
sure you haven't forgotten anything?
Huh?
Anything, forgotten anything?
You mean a tip?
Tip, yeah.
No. Didn't forget it. Yes, it is from Jack.
You never do give tips, do you?
Listen to this, Fanny. Jack's in San Francisco.
Oh,
Isn't that wonderful news? Jack is in San Francisco.
Fendi, Fendi, Fendi.
And so concludes another episode of One Fella's Family, brought to you by the Be Kind to One Another Committee. Today's episode, entitled A Message Arrives, was taken from Book IV, Chapter VI, pages IV through VI. One Fella's Family is written and produced by T. Wilson Messy. Why don't you read your lines a little better, you old gaffer?
I think right now we should play those tapes that were brought in by Wally Ballaou.
That's right. This is the 4th of July parade description that Wally and his broadcasting partner, Artie Schermerhorn, covered. Was this on the air at all, this broadcast?
It was made for use today. I haven't heard it, though.
Okay. Well, is the tape ready to go? Okay, let's hear it.
This is radio's highly regarded Wally Ballaou, winner of 16 Diction Awards, greeting you from the 4th of July parade here in New York City. Before describing any of the activity here, I'd like to introduce and call in from his vantage point my broadcasting partner, Artie Schermerhorn. Can you hear me, Art?
Schermerhorn here. Thank you, Wally. Yes, this is Artie Schermerhorn, here to assist Wally Ballou in the broadcast of the annual 4th of July parade. I see a...
Excuse me, Artie, this is Wally Ballaou again. From my vantage point, I hated to interrupt you, but there is a band rounding the corner, heading across. Let's go down and pick up... No, I'm afraid we missed that music. Is there anything going on at your point, Artie?
Up at this end, Wally, we have a group of children parading by now, and there's, yes, a band in back of them. So, engineer, let's swing down and... Same thing seems to have happened here, Wally. Back to your vantage point.
Better luck next time, Artie Schermerhorn. Oh, wait a minute. There is a band now, and I think if we swing our parabolic microphone down, we'll catch it. A little bit. Fine. Artie, can you describe the view that you're looking at right now?
Hello? Yes, Wally, I could. It is a beautiful day. I can count, let me see, must be 1, 2, maybe 15 bricks placed one on top of the other. And this has been carried on in some sort of a sequence so as to make what I would call a wall.
Artie, excuse me, this is Ballou again. I think you're describing the wall. If you turn around, I think the parade is behind you, Art. Will you try that, please?
Right, you're so right, Wally, that's true. And there's a band coming, so let's swing down now and pick up some of that exciting martial music, shall we?
You missed most of that, Artie. This is Wally Ballaou, back at my vantage point. Right now, there seems to be some trouble. 44th Street heads into...
Let me interrupt just a moment. There is a break here on 44th Street. It doesn't carry all the way through. It's necessary for the route of march to go through Grand Central Terminal. So that will be a delay, more or less.
Well, what do you think of that?
I don't think we should put it on the air at all.
No.
So, they didn't cover anything.
No, I don't think we'll broadcast that. Anyway, that was the big 4th of July parade.
Here with us again today is the author of several best-selling children's books, hails from Nutley, New Jersey, I believe, and his name is Mr. August T. May. August, it's a very great pleasure to have you back here again with us by popular demand.
It is a pleasure to be here. Look, I am wearing my new summer suit. See?
Mm-hmm.
It is a lightweight suit. My summer suit is lightweight, and it is gray.
Cool, too, I'll bet, huh?
My summer suit is cool, too. See? Look. See my new summer suit? It's cool.
Okay, August T. May. Well,
gray.
now we've...
It's lightweight. Look, I can run and dance and play in my new summer suit.
Okay, we've established that. You have a new suit.
It is gray.
And it's gray, and it's very comfortable, very cool for warm weather like this. Now, what brings you here today, particularly?
Well, I just finished a new book. Look here in my hand. See the cover of my new book?
Hey, that is a book by you.
Look, the title. The Day the Tree Cried.
The
See?
Day the Tree Cried.
See the tree? Mm-hmm. Now, look at the tree.
It's weeping.
The tree is weeping.
It's a weeping willow, isn't it?
Yes, the tree is a weeping willow. So, the tree is crying. Look at the poor tree. I wish that poor tree would stop crying.
August, if I could
I would
interrupt.
rather see that tree laugh and play.
Is this part of your book you're reciting, or... I mean, it sounds... I don't want to interrupt and give away the whole story of the weeping willow tree, but...
Well, it's about a tree.
How did you
The story
happen...
I wrote is concerned principally with a tree.
Uh-huh.
Ah, look at that tree.
The day the tree cried. How did you happen to get the idea for this? Were you traveling around out in the country, or did it just come to you while you were home?
The idea came to me very rapidly. It's funny. Ideas come quickly to me.
Mm-hmm.
An idea, you know, is a brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a brainstorm.
And you have...
My brainstorm told me that I should write a book. And I chose as my subject a tree. Oh, a poor tree that cries. Oh, my. I wish that poor tree would stop crying. I would much prefer to have a tree laugh and play and smile.
Can you tell us this, just without giving away too much of the plot? Does the tree smile in the end of the book, or does it...
Yes, the tree smiles. This is a happy book. This book has a very happy ending. I'm sure that all my readers prefer a book with a happy ending. That's why I write books with happy endings.
Okay, August E. May, children's book writer.
Now I must go run and play again with Gina.
Where are you going this evening? You have a date, do you?
Look, I'm running and playing with Gina Lola Bridgeter.
Oh,
look,
get
I'm
out.
holding her hand, and she is holding my hand.
August E. May, ladies and gentlemen.
Come, Gina, run this way. Ah, I'm running and dancing and playing
Right
with
out
Gina
through there. That's fine. Very good. And I think while we clear the air here, we can...
Yes, I'm running and dancing and playing and laughing. That serves to introduce Charlie Wendlekin, who is Bob and Ray's travel editor. He's here now to answer mail sent in by you, the listener. Would you cut out the music? Thank you. Thank you very much. Here's one from 78-year-old Lottie Devigny-Du, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, of Catalina Island in California. And she says, March 31st is Kite Flying Day in Bermuda. Would you recommend going there to see it? Charlie?
Oh, I beg your pardon, Ray. I didn't hear the question. I was finishing my fried clams.
Oh, my word. This lady out in California would like to know if Kite Flying Day in Bermuda, is something that you would recommend.
Yes, definitely, I would.
Wait a minute, there's a P.S. down here. She says she doesn't care much for kites.
Well, kite flying, as you probably know, is an acquired taste. And I'd recommend she run around a bit with a kite behind before she goes, and she might be very surprised to find that she's become quite a kite fan.
Uh-huh. Okay. A man from Salina or Salina, Kansas. Who can help me with that?
Salina.
Writes, what about Buffalo...
Or Salina. It's one or the other.
Well, anyway, he writes and says, what about Buffalo, New York?
What about it?
Well, he just wants to know.
It was incorporated in 1832, had 343,000 and some odd telephones in 1958. It's ranked 15th in the nation in population, has 10 public parks, and its highest point is 680 feet above sea level.
I hope these figures are up to date. We've recently had a census, you know. It was 15th probably in the 1950 census, but...
Yes, these are figures that are 2 years old, at least.
Okay.
Maybe 10.
A couple from Cannes on the French Riviera write, where shall we go?
Try Chester, Pennsylvania. I've never been there, but they say it's hard to beat in the spring. And if you do, be sure to pick up some of the lace that it's famous for. As an alternative, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend the Radish Festival in Oaxaca, Mexico. Pleasant thoughts of that event will keep coming back for many a year.
Yes. A note from a Mr. Pratt Boyd of Arizona. He writes, according to legend, if you throw a coin in Rome's Fountain of Trevi, you are destined to return to Roma someday. On a recent trip there, while low in funds, he said, I tossed a slug in the fountain. Does that mean I can never return to Roma?
Not necessarily. You might be invited back by the mafia.
Great sense of humor. Charlie Wendlekin, our travel editor. A final question for you, sir. What's the place of the week?
Lapland, Ray, in northern Norway and Sweden. It's hard to beat for those who like nightlife. It's dark 3 full months of the year.
Can we have his theme now, please? You've been listening to Charlie Wendlekin, Bob and Ray's travel editor,
Wendlekin.
who will never return. Now to the down cellar workshop of Mr. Science, where he's about to be visited by his little friend from next door, little Jimmy Schwab.
Oh, hello there, Jimmy. Come right in.
Golly, gee willikers. It's good to see you again, Mr.
Well,
Science.
nice to see you, too, Jimmy.
Holy cats,
I think
sleeping
we
lizards.
have an interesting experiment for us to try out today, Jimmy.
Oh, hot dog.
Did you know that for something to burn, you must have oxygen or air?
Wow, wait till I tell the kids at school that. Gee
That's
whiz.
right. That's right, Jimmy.
Oh,
Now, I'm going
dash
to...
my timbers.
What?
Dash my timbers.
I'm going to prove this oxygen theory for you. But you see this jug I have here?
Gad, Zookas, wait till I tell the kids at school I saw one of those.
It's a 1-gallon jug, Jimmy.
Oh, boy. Wait till I tell the kids at school I saw 1-gallon
And
jug.
it's half filled with high-octane gasoline, which I siphoned out of my automobile.
Wow, great Caesar's ghost.
Now, I'm going to pump all of the air out of the jug with my hand pump. And then, when I do that, I'll prove to you that fire will not burn where there's no oxygen. You ready?
Wowee, wait till I tell the kids at school I saw that, Mr. Science, whatever it was.
Yes. All right, now let's begin to pump the air out of the jug.
Taking the air out, huh?
Now, you notice
I'll be cow-kicked.
the jug is firmly sealed there, so once we get all of the air out, there'll be no oxygen inside, right?
Yes. Boy, wait till I tell the kids at school I saw this kind of an experiment. Boy.
I think that ought to be about enough. I think it's all out now. I'm going to light this match, Jimmy. And
Golly.
remove the cap quickly from the jug and
Gallopin'
drop the match in. Wow.
Boy, my daddy's gonna hackle your bones. You ruined my suit.
I think
That
something
doddering
went,
old sheephead. Why didn't
something
you
went
even
wrong,
learn, you
Jimmy.
big white guy?
I think the air got into the jug before the match did. That's probably why our little experiment didn't work.
You big chicken halibut.
Better luck next time. Time now for Ask Dr. Dunstable, featuring the famed psychologist and author of the best-selling book, It's All in Your Head, Dr. Joyce Dunstable. Let's get to the first question,
All right, Olin.
sent in by a 22-year-old young man who says, I have a very strong feeling that the whole world is against me. What shall I do?
Does he say anything else?
Yes, he says he lives at 23 Sycamore Street in Burlington, Vermont, and his name is Attila the Hun.
Well, he doesn't give me much to go on. I'll say this. I think he should change his attitude. Act as though he is liked.
I would have suggested that he changed his name instead of his...
And I suggest that you spend a lifetime in this field, Olin, as I have, before you start dispensing advice. Thank you. Next
Here's
question.
one from Mr. Nesser, who writes, Dear Doc, I used to be a proud and respected man in this community until my wife started constantly knocking me down in public.
Well, now that's an easy one, Mr. Nesser. Of course, in judo and other forms of self-defense will enable you to give a good account of yourself. I think...
He goes on to say, Doctor, I hadn't completed his letter.
You acted as though you had, Olin.
He says...
How long have you been on this program?
He says...
Not counting next week's.
My wife, of course, doesn't knock me down physically. Oh, see, here's the end. Being only 87 pounds. But she has a rapier-like tongue with which she belittles me at the slightest provocation. Standing 6'6" and husky, public tongue lashings that make me crawl don't go well with my mane. I could belt her, but I fear it would reflect poorly on me.
Belting her would sully your mane, indeed. So I suggest that you meet her on her own ground, that of the barbed remark, the biting quip.
Well, he continues here.
What did he write, a book?
He says I have attempted to meet her on her own ground, that of the barbed remark, the biting quip. But I guess I'm no match for her trigger-fast mind. What shall I do?
Read on. Is there any more before
Well, that's all there is.
I hope so. Perhaps you could memorize some of the remarks used by comedians to squelch hecklers, like, "Who let you out of your cage?" or "Take my wife, please," or "I miss my wife's cooking whenever possible," or...
She's had her face lifted so many times she talks through her nose.
Is that directed at me?
No, that's Henny Youngman's. I thought Mr. Nestor could use it on his wife, but I see our time is up, so can you have your closing word on how to achieve peace of mind?
Not enough people think about themselves. You should try to think about yourself all the time. Get to know yourself better. I've found that if you know anyone in your life, you should know yourself.
Be more self-centered, so to speak.
Yes.
Dr. Joyce Dunstable will return with another program of wise counsel in the not-too-distant future. Consult your palmist for time and station.
And a real sissy theme serves to introduce our next program. Hi there, fact fans. Welcome to the new Bob and Ray educational feature called Do You Expect Us to Believe That? It's a program of interesting, albeit questionable facts about this fascinating world everyone listening to me now lives in. Now, here is Bob with the first fact tidbit.
Right you are, Ray. Did you know that Monsieur Émile Truchet of Lausanne, Switzerland, owns a full-grown St. Bernard dog that is no bigger than a Cocker Spaniel?
Check one. There is a Dr. P.Z. Foote living in Azusa, California, who is a dentist and does quite poorly. Do you know that famous gambler Frank Rinke has proven that bad luck is the largest single contributory factor to gambling losses?
Italy's famed Leaning Tower of Pisa does not lean at all. It's an optical illusion created by the fact that the sidewalk below runs sharply downhill.
Disregarding the advice of his merchant friends, Arim Akbar of the small village of Kababaville in the Libyan desert opened up a rainwear shop. And surprisingly, he did fairly well for a while. Then, of course, he went broke.
Thomas Hulo of Orlando, Florida, grew an orange 4.5 feet long.
I'm not going to swallow that one.
The Dutch Afrikaners could have won the Boer War if things had gone differently.
Check. King Maurice III of Gaul, who reigned for 50 years, wore his crown but once during the entire time, because it was much too big for him.
If someone gave Italy's famed Leaning Tower of Pisa a slight push, it would fall down.
Thomas Alva Edison, the Wizard of Prospect Park,
Menlo Park,
was an inveterate bulb snatcher, snatching as many as a dozen a week.
A Samoan sequin fish, much like humans do, eats 3 regular meals a day. Some even have between-meal snacks.
In Northern Ireland, the town of Sonyanevervikadaprappattonl is pronounced only with great difficulty.
Well, nobody has to believe any of these. That's the nature of the feature. Do you expect us to believe that?
Would you play our sissy theme, please, as we sign off? Do you expect us to believe that? Incidentally, copies of today's broadcast may be obtained by simply writing to Bob.
Oh, no, they can't. Making last-minute adjustments here. This is radio's Wally Ballou. I've just been given the signal that I'm on the radio, and I'm standing in the farmyard of Professor Groggins, who is beginning another year of rocket research. Is that the correct definition of your work, Professor?
Yes. Mr. Ballou, I was reading not too long ago in Popular Rocket magazine about a toy rocket that used bicarbonate of soda and citric acid powder.
That's right. Most of the young children, the scientific-minded kids these days, have these small rockets which are propelled that way.
Yes. Well, now, when you add water to those two chemicals, it fizzes in the back of the rocket, builds up pressure, and then blasts off the rocket to what I understand will be a fantastic height. Now, I'm using in mine over 3,000 pounds 3,000. That's a ton and a half of bicarb and citric acid, and I'm going to use 500 gallons of water. Now,
Boy, that would,
you'd
you
like
could
to
eat
come
a
into
lot of
the,
onions with that much bicarbonate, I guess.
If you come into the chicken coop, this is serving as the blockhouse for my test.
This is just going to be a static test. You won't be taking off or anything.
No, it's just to see if this stuff has enough
Oomph.
explosion.
Well, in this, do you have to do a countdown when you're
Yeah,
having
I
a
do.
test
Oh,
like
sure,
this?
sure.
Well, will you explain what you're doing then?
30, 29.
Now he's counting down from 30.
28.
Did you just pick that arbitrarily?
Well, I'm going to skip quickly now to 15.
Oh, I
Now
see.
I'm going to add the water in. 14.
Into the bicarbonate
Yes.
goes the water.
Keep your eyes now. Be looking through this small slit in the chicken coop. Keep your eye on that. See what happens, huh?
Okay, I see chickens in there.
13. 10. 9. 8.
You're not very,
4. 3, 2,
Careful,
1.
you're down to 0,
No,
yes?
10.
Well, he's starting back at 10.
10. I'll go down in twos. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0.
Blast off.
Yeah.
Have you worked this out
water
on
is,
paper so you know it's going to work, or?
I don't believe in figuring anything out on paper. It's one thing I've never permitted myself to do. I like to get out and use the trial and error
I
method.
think something is happening in there now. Oh, there it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Groggins, I think this time has been successful. A tremendous surge of power from this bicarbonate citric acid.
Oh, here comes the fire chief. Look, I'm in trouble this time.
Say, this is making
it's
an awful
covered
mess.
with bicarbonate and citric acid and water. My suit is ruined. Oh,
That's the story from Herkimer. Ladies and gentlemen, Wally Ballou
boy.
covering this rather unsuccessful attempt
well,
by
my heartburn is gone.
Professor Groggins to get the rocket off the ground again. And now back to our main studios.